it's a great day to be a friend of Sesame Street. And speaking of friends of Sesame Street, I'd like you to see two of our friends who are going to help kick off the naming ceremony.
Hello, everybody! Oh!
Hi, Big Bird.
It is I, your old pal Grover here. It's so good to see everybody.
Yes, and it's me, Big Bird. Hi, everybody.
Maria,
Yes, Grover.
I am so ready to do this, to help you name the street. And I have got the doozy for you. Listen to this. Fred. What do you think, huh? Isn't that perfect?
Well,
I don't know, Grover. I don't know any streets named Fred, but what about Birdseed Avenue?
No. Listen, guys, we are here to rename this street Sesame Street. See, this has already been decided. So we're all here to celebrate Sesame Street's 50th anniversary and help with the unveiling of the new Sesame Street sign.
Wow, right here.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful news, Maria.
Yes.
What a great reason to celebrate.
You bet.
But is everyone here? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go tell everyone I can find to come join us, okay? I'll be right back. Go on without me.
Sesame Street. It has a nice ring to it. Maybe we can rename 64th Street, Fred.
Well, you know what, Grover? Let's think about that for next year. Right now, we're so happy to share this wonderful occasion with the wonderful city of New York. But first, I want to invite all of the wonderful cast members of Sesame Street to join us on the stage. Please help me welcome Loretta Long, Bob McGrath, Emilio Delgado, Roscoe Orman, Allison Bartlett, Alan Maroka, Suki Lopez, Frank Cordero, Tyler Bunch, Pam Orsiero, Peter Lynch, Carmen Ashbar, Brian Dillon, and David Rudman. And of course, we can't forget Eric Jacobson underneath our favorite character, and of course, Matt Vogel, who was on stage moments ago here as Big Bird. So let's have a nice round of applause.
Wow. Hello, New York. Thank you, Sonia. And thank you, everyone, for coming out on this exciting occasion. This year marks the 50th anniversary of when Sesame Street went on television. From the very beginning, New York City has been our hometown, as well as the physical and emotional inspiration for the street where all the Sesame Street Muppets and human characters live. So when it came to celebrating our 50th birthday, the one thing we really wanted, more than any other, was to finally be able to answer the often asked question, can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Well, now we can. It's right here at our home base in Lincoln Center. We are grateful to the City of New York for recognizing our block and letting the whole world know that Sesame Street does exist. And we are a big part of what makes New York City the great urban center that it is. I think we can all agree that New York and Sesame share important values: respect for and embracement of difference, innovation, and a willingness to lead. It is almost impossible to believe that Sesame would have been conceived of and born in any other city. New York has always inspired people to break the mold. The risk-taking that produced Sesame Street and the values that we embrace are the very ethos of this city. And New York has always been a great global leader, inspiring and drawing admirers from all over the world. So it is fitting that today Sesame brings its lessons to more than 150 countries. What some now call the longest street in the world truly starts right here at the corner of 63rd and Broadway in the heart of Manhattan. I hope you will join me in thanking all of the people in our neighborhood who made today possible. There are so many. We won't be able to name them all, but let's name a few. First, the Mayor Bill de Blasio in his office. Council member Helen Rosenthal, who introduced and passed the street naming legislation. The local community board, and our wonderful neighbors who welcome this change and help us achieve it. Especially all of those of you from 30 Lincoln Plaza who signed the petition on our behalf, which was vitally important to making this day a reality. I'd also like to thank our board members in attendance today and our other honored guests for joining us today. Thank you. And on our own Sesame Workshop team, it would be negligent really not to especially be grateful to Sam Kennedy, Jennifer Perry, and Shanika Martin for all they did to get us here. So thanks to all of you, every single passerby who sees this beautiful new sign, whether on foot, in a taxi, or even in one of those double-decker tour buses that come down Broadway, which really was a big inspiration. They can now be reminded of the timeless lessons learned on Sesame Street. That everyone, no matter who they are or where they are from, is equally deserving of respect, equal opportunity, and joy. And of course, that Elmo, and indeed all of the Sesame Street Muppets, love them. So with tremendous gratitude, I'd like to bring up the public servant who launched this entire process. Please welcome to the podium City Council member Helen Rosenthal.
Wow, it's great to see everyone here on Sesame Street. I want to welcome you here to my district on the Upper West Side and share a little story with you. So if we think about what's going on in the world today, you know, we think about troubles, we think about tragedy, and that's universal. But what is also universal is if you say the word Sesame Street, everyone here, everyone, as I look through the audience, is right now having a memory about when they saw Sesame Street, or about when a character really spoke to them and really talked about an issue that they were going through themselves, right? Think about Sesame Street. Think about that moment for you. I want to share with you my moment. My moment was as a young kid growing up in Livonia, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit. Wow, Livonia, Michigan, on 8 Mile Road, before it was 8 Mile Road. And I was one of 3 Jewish families in my neighborhood. And let me tell you, I felt like an outsider all the time. And it was Kermit the Frog, when he sang the song, "It's Not Easy Being Green." That's the one that always stuck with me. And today, when I work on legislation, and when I think about what's going on in the city today and in our country, what comes to mind for me is that it's not easy being green. But there's a lot of good when we have all this diversity, when we all have universal experiences. And it's for that reason that I am just so excited that we now have Sesame Street. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Rosenthal, for everything you did to make this happen and for the emotion behind that. All right, now please give it up for the Honorable Mayor of the City of New York, Bill de Blasio.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sesame Street. First, I want to thank Jeff for leading the entire Sesame Street vision into this century. Thank you, Jeff, for your leadership. Everyone is here. This is a labor of love for all of us. We're here because we believe in what Sesame Street means today and what it's meant for half a century, what it's done for our children. And a lot of us up here raised our kids with the help of Sesame Street, and it made them better, stronger, more self-confident. So this is something to celebrate today. I want to thank everyone who's here. Special thank you because she really made it happen. Councilmember Helen Rosenthal, thank you so much. Want to thank and also welcome to her new role as the Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, Ann Del Castillo. Thank you, congratulations. All of the leadership of Sesame Workshop, all of the honored guests here, all of the Muppets, all of the actors, thank you all. I hope at some point in these proceedings I get formally introduced to a long-lost relative of mine. His name is Big Bird, you may have heard of him. Never met him in person though. All right, now, I have some great people work for me and they really put their heart and soul into thinking about what to say on this important occasion. So listen to this. E may be for Ernie, B for Bert, and G for Grover. But today is about the letter S. S is for smiles. I bet even Oscar the Grouch is smiling now. Right on cue. And now we will change in a moment the S of 63rd Street and make it the S of Sesame Street. And let's not leave the numbers out of this. This important occasion is brought to you by the number 50. 50 years of extraordinary programming, 50 years of making people's lives better, 50 years of helping children believe in themselves. It's absolutely amazing. Sesame Street changed this country. And for everyone who's been a part of it, I hope you feel that what you've done has been profoundly important. You know, we focus a lot in this city on early childhood education, but long before that, Sesame Street was helping this entire country to know how much we could achieve if we reached our kids in their earliest years. And Sesame Street did so much to help people realize those young minds, the potential of those young minds that they could be reached early. Sesame Street's fuzzy residents also practice social activism at its cutest. And the show made a choice. The show made a choice long before most of the media had done it, to show all of us, to represent all the people that make up our society, to show black and brown faces, and young and old, and male and female, and everyone on an equal footing. For my children, that was profoundly important. My children growing up in a multiracial family, to see the whole world presented through Sesame Street was part of their growth, part of how they gained a sense of their place in the world. There's also something beautiful for us watching when they were young to see our own city, even our own neighborhood, portrayed in Sesame Street. And you cannot take the New York City out of Sesame Street, can you? The two go hand in hand. Remember, one day there's a scene that showed a New York City bus going by, and I realized it was just a couple of blocks from our house where they filmed it. And it gave me that sense of like the connection to life in this city that really was the wellspring of so much of what Sesame Street showed us and talked about, and so much of the ideas and the ethic that made Sesame Street great. Also, Sesame Street was way ahead of the curve with the actors and the Muppets, and it's important to acknowledge and thank our MC, because not only did she do amazing work on the show, but she made history. Sonia Manzano was the first part of our history. Sonia Manzano was the first Latina with a leading role in American television history. And with the Muppets helping to show all the different realities of life and all the different possibilities of life at the same time. Julia, the Muppet with autism. Zari, the Muppet from Afghanistan. The whole idea of showing us the fullness of the world. So, Sesame Street has inspired us all. It helped us to realize what was possible here in this city. There's no question it helped to inspire us on our way to a city that's truly devoted to early childhood education, pre-K for all and soon 3K for all here in New York City. And to make it very, very simple, Sesame Street has made this world a better place. And thank you to everyone for all you have achieved. It wouldn't be right if I didn't do a few words in Spanish. Hoy estamos rindiendo homenaje a Plaza Sésamo. Sus simpáticos residentes han sido los primeros maestros de la escuela y la vida para muchísimos niños. Nos honra designar la calle 63 con el nombre de Sesame Street. De nada. And it's my honor now to use a little bit of mayoral magic and get a proclamation. Look how quickly that just suddenly appears. And this proclamation, I'm not going to read it because it's a lot of praise for Sesame Street, and you already feel that. I'm only going to tell you the end. Read it because it's a lot of praise for Sesame Street, and you already feel that. I'm only going to tell you the end. It says, I, Bill de Blasio, Mayor of the City of New York, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, May 1st, 2019, in the City of New York as Sesame Street Day. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor, for those words, for honoring us here today. Now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for, but let's make sure everyone from Sesame Street is here. So with that, I'd like to welcome Mr. Mayor.
Hey everybody, I'm back.
Yes, I am ready for the countdown. Come on, big boy. Right here.
Okay. All right, so everybody is now here. Let's unveil the newest street sign in the city of New York. Come on over here.
Wonderful to see.
Yeah.
Come on over here.
What's my big one right here?
Yeah, literally.
I think you were covered by bacon, Mr. Mayor.
He's going to go around your tail.
That's a
There you
big
go.
long tail.
That's the way.
All right. Come this way.
Whoa. That's amazing.
All right, everybody.
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, there you have it. Now, to close us out here, this great day, like all of us, the cast to lead us in sunny days, which we're going to hope for. All right, here we go.
Sure. Come on up. Sunny days, sweep them up all the way. On my way to Attendees. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
63 and Broadway.
Everything's A-okay. Friendly neighbors there and where we live. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you one and all for 50 great years. Thank you, my cast. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you, all of you who came out. Have a good sunny day. Thank you, really are.
We all the Sesame Street.
Hey, Crunchy. Big word.